April 6, 2014, the night 75,000 fans inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome witnessed history. WrestleMania 30 wasn't just a pay-per-view, it was a revolution. In the main event, three titans of very different paths collided: Randy Orton, Batista, and Daniel Bryan, in a triple threat match that would forever reshape WWE's narrative of who belongs in the spotlight. Let's rewind. Just months earlier, Daniel Bryan had been dismissed, overshadowed, and outright denied by the Authority. Despite being the most over superstar with the crowd, Bryan was viewed as a B-plus player, too scrappy, too unorthodox, too rebellious. Batista returned from Hollywood with a Royal Rumble win and a path paved straight to the WrestleMania main event. Fans weren't thrilled. Randy Orton, the apex predator and hand-picked face of the company, held the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Backed by the Authority, Orton represented everything Bryan was fighting against. Then came the uprising, the Yes Movement, hijacked Ross, unified chants, and eventually, an impossible stipulation: if Bryan could defeat Triple H earlier in the night, he'd earn a spot in the main event. Bryan won.
Missed that one. Bryan lands on his feet. Out of the corner. No! Can he do it? Yes! Yes! Daniel Bryan! One of the biggest upsets in WrestleMania.
Exhausted, beat but alive, the WrestleMania 30 main event became a triple threat. The entrances set the tone. Orton entered with confidence and gold. Batista with power and presence. Bryan, with a taped-up shoulder and thunderous "yes" chants shaking the rafters. From the opening bell, the match exploded with intensity. Bryan, running on adrenaline, immediately took the fight to both men. The odds were never in his favor. Two former world champions, both fresher than him. But Bryan's technical precision and speed kept him in the mix. Batista and Orton, while not aligned, often found themselves working together, if only to neutralize Bryan. The action spilled outside the ring, into barricades, and even across the announcer's area. This wasn't a clean wrestling match, it was a war. Randy Orton, ever the tactician, slowed the pace with methodical offense, isolating Bryan and working the arm that had taken so much damage earlier that night. Batista showed off raw power, spine busters, slams, and brute force. He tossed Bryan around like a ragdoll, but Orton was always lurking, always ready to strike when the opportunity came. Bryan wasn't down for long. With heart and speed, he landed kicks, flying knees, and submissions that popped the crowd every time. But with every hopeful surge came another devastating counter. As the match progressed, the Superdome roared louder. Bodies were breaking, and strategy was giving way to sheer will. There were moments where each man had near victories: Batista nearly putting Bryan away, Orton hitting signature moves with surgical timing. And Bryan, he pulled off impossible counters, kept kicking out, kept rising. At one point, the violence escalated to an almost uncomfortable level. The announce table was destroyed in a sequence that left the crowd in stunned silence. Officials swarmed, and even medical staff appeared concerned. But this was WrestleMania, and no one was leaving early. With Bryan barely able to stand, and both Batista and Orton showing visible damage, the closing moments of the match began to take shape. You could feel it, the sense that something monumental was brewing. The crowd's chants grew louder with each nearfall. Yes, echoed with the rhythm of hope. Bryan, running on pure heart, defied the odds with each breath. Batista and Orton began turning on each other, their fragile cooperation dissolving into raw aggression. The match had become more than about a title. It was legacy, power, rebellion, and redemption. What happened next cemented this match as one of the greatest WrestleMania main events of all time, a culmination of story, emotion, and destiny. But we'll leave that moment untouched. A legendary finish worth watching with your own eyes. If you felt the chills just listening, imagine the electricity of watching it live. This wasn't just a match, it was a movement rewarded. Want more deep dive recaps into iconic matches like this one? Hit that subscribe button, tap like, and leave a comment below. Was WrestleMania 30 the best modern era Mania? Let us know. This is the Wrestling Observer, where history lives, and legends never fade.